what can we survive on? If I had to grab my bug out bag and head out and bug out, what do I got in here? All of this stuff I need to be better at, and your grab bag, or what they call them, bug out bags. Yeah, bug out bags. See how familiar I am with the terminology. Most of my life I've done a lot of camping, especially when I was a kid. Of course, me and my brothers, and we just grab a couple blankets and head to the woods behind the house and go find somewhere to sleep for the night and just have fun or whatever. But in the last few years, of course, we've had a lot of things happen in the world that maybe inspire us and maybe compel us to want to be more self-efficient, And I think through what little bit of camping experiences I've had, which is I've camped out a lot, but not a lot of it, a lot of the survival things that we probably all could be better at. So I'm trying to get better at survival skills, and I think a lot of us do, and we watch a lot of YouTube videos of people doing it, and it's very, very interesting to a lot of people, myself included. So I mean, a few years ago, when the big COVID hoax hit, and the criminal governments of the world have done a whole direction of where they're going, a lot of us are inspired to go. We know that we probably need to be more self-efficient, like we used to be, and talk about people growing their own foods and stuff in the in our backyard or whatever. And I have a small garden behind me, but that all of this stuff I need to be better at and need to be more participant in doing those things. So, but I went and bought a few things that I thought would be good for what people talk about. Your grab bag, or what they call them, bug out bags. Yeah, bug out bags. See how familiar I am with the terminology of things. But that's something I want to learn a little bit more about, and not just watching the videos. I want to try to get used to using these tools that we need to survive, and try to survive on our own. And I think a lot of us have that same interest again. I bought this backpack a few years ago thinking we might need some survival things. So I haven't opened it since. I put some stuff in here, and we're going to see what we have in here today. Okay, what can we survive on? If I had to grab my bug out bag and head out and bug out, what do I got in here? Okay, so there's things I know I'm missing. There's a lot of things. In fact, one thing I can think of right now that I don't have in here is a flashlight. But I do have a flashlight, so it's just not in my bug out bag where it needs to be. Well, yeah, well, you can grab a lot of things. You got a lot of stuff in our house and around our property that we could, scurry to get and put it all together. But in an emergency situation where you don't have time to get all that stuff, that's why you have a bug out bag. Okay, that's why we all are interested in getting that. It all should be here, so we can grab it and go. Not have to look for it in a drawer or somewhere in another place on the property or in your house. These things need to be put in a bug out bag. So, things that I bought a few years ago that I haven't touched since, that I think that would be essential, and there's going to be a lot more essential things. So we're going to open this thing. I haven't opened it in a long time, but I do know, I think this here is a tent. Okay, yeah, a little survival tent. So in fact, I might just put this up here in a little while, but that's a nice little tent, and I think it's I don't know, good for a couple people. In fact, I think I have this. Fills most of the bag. Here's a sleeping bag. Okay, so there's a sleeping bag. So I know couple things that we know that are important. I bought this spool of rope. Nylon rope. I know that the paracord is a real popular thing, and I would like to get that also. But there's some rope. So another thing that's pretty big in here, I went and bought this cheap. I guess that's one of the cheap machetes. I think it's a Walmart special, right? It's got a little sheave on it. Let's check this thing out. So yeah, we know what that's used for. It's kind of sharp. It's pretty sharp there. There we go. Keep that safe. Out of the hands of children, right? So there we go. There's that. Well, you know what? Here we have something else that I forgot. I guess this is, what is this? Heavy duty polystringer. Okay. All right, guys, from this point on, I have to do some voiceover. Had a mishaps with my camera. So I'm voiceovering the rest of this. This is some fishing line that I pulled out of my bug out bag that I described earlier. And then, of course, some matches. And you know, as I was wanting to describe a little bit better earlier, this is a bag I bought several years ago and just not prepared. I bought the bag itself, and then just started buying a few items to throw in it that I thought would need. This here is a compass. I have a couple, 2 or 3 of those. I'm explaining that I've learned a little bit about running a compass, but it's very informative to educate ourselves on learning how to use a compass. This is just one of those emergency shelter, real quick things that you see on Amazon, probably from Walmart or something. And then these little emergency blankets. Some of you are familiar with these things. And you know, the whole purpose of this thing, me doing this, that there is a cover, a rain cover for the bag itself. So the bag there is really, I like this bag. It's nice heavy duty canvas, but of course it could get wet, and it did come with a rain jacket to put over the canvas bag. Then, you know, I had seen these shovels, these kind of several tools in one shovel. A really nice tool. They're very kind of pricey. This one was pretty pricey. I think I paid like $75 for this thing. But of course it has several functions. It has a nice sharp blade on one side and a saw blade on the other. And then of course your shovel, your digging tool. It's compact. It has 3 pieces that you can screw the handles together and you know, make yourself a shovel, and you have a saw. And really what I thought was cool, and I had forgotten about when I'm looking right here now, at the end you unscrew that end, and it actually has one of those striker sticks. I think they're called a ferrule rod. But again, you know, my terminology here is very weak in these survival bushcrafting experiences, and this is something I just want to learn more about. And you know, the channel here is about you know, learning survival bushcrafting together. So comments are great. We can all kind of just work together, and people, I know a lot of you experienced bushcrafters out there and survival experts. This is some funny stuff here because it's very amateur. So that's what this channel's about, learning survival bushcrafting together. And I know we all like this kind of material, so hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's learn together, guys.